pushing so aggressively right now is because he's going to self-pardon himself in October of 2028. I think he's going to self-pardon himself. I think he's going to pardon everybody in his administration. I think this is going to be a new playbook that every president does moving forward because it gives them a blanket, immunity against being able to say stuff like this. You can't say stuff like this. You can't say put him to sleep. You can't say, take him off the air. You can't say stuff like this because what you're doing is, you're opening it up in 4 years. You can only speak like this if you're going to be there for 4 years, and you're not. You're only there for 3 years. So guess who this is going to hurt in 3 years? In 3 years, when somebody else gets elected, let's just say Newsom is in, or somebody else, AOC is in, or one of those guys comes in and they win. You don't think they're going to come after everybody? I don't want to, just repeat the same thing you're saying. All I'm saying is think long term. Call them out with data. Like when I was talking earlier with the light, show the fact that 98% of their guests are liberal. Highlight it. And everybody's like, oh my God, I never knew about that. Highlight the fact that Stephen Colbert is so one-sided and never has Republican guests. And if they do, it's a list change.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me. John Soto, this is SotoCast. We're looking at the latest PVD episode. It just dropped. In this particular segment, he's talking, we'll get into, we'll let them get into it. You kind of get a taste for what's going on right now. I'm going to interject as they go, and let's get on it.
Cheney, who hates Trump. Talk about that kind of stuff. But I don't know if I like the strategy on what he's doing and what he's saying. But Vinny, I'll come to you next. Your thoughts on what he said about Stephen Colbert in a minute. I'm going to show you guys what Jimmy Kimmel said in the video. And so, Vinny, I may even show it now, and you can react to both.
Yeah, show Kimmel first.
Humberto, if you have that clip of what Jimmy Kimmel said, the video clip on Twitter or X, if you can play that clip, because this is Jimmy Kimmel on Christmas talking to the world. He's talking, I think, a little bit about UK and saying, hey, here's what America's going through. We're acting a little bit weird. Just be patient with us.
And
watch this. Go for it.
I honestly have no idea what's going on over there. I do know what's going on over here, though. And I can tell you that from a fascism perspective, this has been a really great year. Tyranny is booming over here. You may have read in your colorful newspapers, my country's president would like to shut me up because I don't adore him in the way he likes to be adored. The American government made a threat against me and the company I work for, and all of a sudden we're off the air. And because so many people spoke out, we came back. Our show came back stronger than ever. We won, the president lost, and now I'm back on the air every night. We are not bright. We're Americans. No one knows better than you. We're always just a little bit late to the game. But do we come through in the end? Maybe. Give us about 3 years, please. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for Spider-Man. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Okay, so that
just a douchey. There's so much that you could say with that. I mean, you just have to wonder if people like that. I mean, obviously, one, they're in a bubble, so that's one. So you take that perspective that he is completely insulated in a very ultra progressive, ultra. I don't like to say privileged, but it is like he's with super wealthy people all the time, right? He doesn't have a foothold on reality. He doesn't understand that the widening gap. Like if you are middle class in this country right now, you are currently getting absolutely crushed, or you really were during the previous administration. I truly believe, from everything that I'm seeing economically, that this massive ship that is the American economy has turned around. What you have to understand is that when you turn around a massive ship, first of all, it takes time. Secondly, when that thing gets turned around completely, even though that rudder is pumping, there's going to be a while where it is actually not going to be moving. It is going to be, it's turned itself around and it's looking in the right direction, but it hasn't really started pushing forward. I think that's going to start in Q1, the first quarter coming up. And I really do believe and hope that going into the midterms, this economy, I think, is going to be roaring. A lot of people are talking about, they've been talking about recession. They've been talking about, that the market's going to be a market correction. I'm not an economics guy, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I think it may be them foreshadowing something that they want, because politically they want that, because politically they believe that that's going to help them out in the midterms. Because let's be real. A lot of people, most of the people that are on the news, and they're liberals. So of course they would love to see that, and they get that thing, they get that, you know, that news stirring and that pot churning, so that people believe that at some point coming soon the sky's going to fall, and that just creates a level of uncertainty that makes people not invest as much as they normally would, and you know, that has that effect on it. But you know, the fascism, like that whole argument again, it's just so tired. It's so tired. I don't know if they were going to go to Vinny here because his camera cut out. Let me see if PBD has something to say about Kimmel here.
Video, the message that he's given. And Vinny, I know you've seen this clip, Vinny, yourself. I want to come to you with this one here, Humberto, if you can go to Vinny. Vinny, when you're seeing this, him give that message, and then the president going after Stephen Colbert, what progress do you see is happening here? You think this is the right move?
Well, first of all, Pat, like Jimmy Kimmel, how much of a whining, crying, you made tens of millions of dollars, okay? Your ratings suck, okay? You got taken off the air, not because Donald Trump said, hey, I don't want people saying mean things about me. Everybody's been saying mean things about him forever. That's why their numbers suck, Pat. They've been hemorrhaging money forever, but we
see, and again, that is such a good point, right? Because to Kimmel's point, he was saying, I said something that the president disagreed with. That's all you guys do. It's literally all you guys do. Like literally, when you watch Stephen Colbert, it is a show for 60-year-old cat ladies at home that hate Trump and nobody else loves them. Like that's who that programming is for. It's built for that. That's the only, you know, I think they get like 1.5 million views, you know, over the course of a night or whatever. I don't even know if it's that high, but that's who's watching that. I mean, what is that? That's like, what is that? That's like like a 0.3% of the United States population. You know, I mean, 3 million is 1%, right? Or maybe 4 million now is 1%. So you're getting like, you know, less than 0.5% of the population to watch your show. It's all like progressive cat ladies. That's all who's watching it. And you know, I guess if they have a husband that's like, you know, on his way out, then he's there with them.
We know why they keep them on the air, because the donors, they don't care that they're losing money. They just want Batman, Orange Man, Hitler Man done. So for him to go to the UK, go live and trash us and trash our country, you're in a country, Jimmy, where if you post negative things on people on social media, the cops come to your house and arrest you in the UK, okay? In Germany, a girl got raped by 11 guys, and somebody went on social media after the raper and said, hey, you're a jerk and I hope God does whatever to you. That girl did more prison time than the guy that was raping the 11-year-old girl. So enough with Jimmy Kimmel. I cannot wait for the end of 2026 when we don't have to hear this guy anymore. It's just constant whining and crying. What a beta female type move to go to another country to bash our country. On the flip side, what he said with Colbert, that type of dialogue, Pat, that type of put him to sleep and put it in quotations, I get it. You know, Krasenstein and all these freaking little worms, they use anything to try to incite violence and stuff towards the Trump and our side. I don't think it's a good move. But again, Pat, this is President Trump. Nobody's going to tell him what to do. I'm pretty sure whoever's the person typing the stuff for him to post, they're not even saying anything. They're just like, whatever the president says, write it. I wish you had somebody to be like, I wouldn't put the quotations and put him to sleep, because everybody knows what that means. Everybody knows what 8647 means with James Comey in the sand, trying to pretend like you don't think that we know what you're saying. I just think a little bit more like he could step back, but you know, he is who he is.
Adam, thoughts?
So let's just be clear. In America, we believe in free speech. I happen to be a free speech absolutist. Say what you want to say. As long as it is not inciting violence, say what you got to say. I mean, look at the clowns in the comment section right now.
You see, Adam always comes off the rails. It's not about inciting violence. It's about a call to action. Anything, in theory, anything you say can incite violence. That's still protected under free speech. It's a particular call to action. So if I say I want this person dead, or I want people to kill this person, then you're asking people to do that. That's different than saying I really hate this person, or you know, this person's a piece of shit, or whatever. Like you can say things that somebody may interpret as a call to violence, but that's still protected as free speech.
Now, they can say what they want to say. All good. We're grown-ups. We got thick skin. At the same time, America is the last great hope of the world. We see what's going on in the rest of the world. And you have the weak West. You see what's going on in Canada. You see what's going on in limiting free speech in the UK. We see what's going on in Australia. And at the same time, you have these strong men in Putin and Xi and Kim Jong-un and the Ayatollah. You can't say shit. You'll end up missing. even Giorgia Meloni in Italy, remember that conversation she's having with Trump? She's like, you deal with all these reporters on a daily basis? He's like, yeah. She's like, not in my country, buddy. So Trump deals with this nonstop for 10 years. Someone who was a darling of the media, darling of Hollywood, darling of the legacy TV, darling of hip hop. Now he's the most hated man in America, certainly the world, according to Americans. But I totally understand why Trump would say things like they're the enemy of the people. I totally understand why he says things like they're running on hatred and fumes, because they are. Dude, I rarely, if ever, watch late night. Sometimes I'll watch The Daily Show, and sometimes I'll watch a little mixture of Colbert, of Kimmel, of Fallon, just to see who's on. Sometimes I'll even watch the #1 show in late night, Greg Gutfeld, who I've said time and time again, #1 show, least talented, least creative, #1 show. There's a reason for it, because I believe in free markets. People vote with their feet and with their eyes. But I happened to come across Colbert, and I sent Humberto some pictures. Who do you think just showed up on Colbert? Not random, just a random day that I picked up his basically twin, Rachel Maddow, shows up, and I'm like, which one's which? Do you have that picture, Humberto? So, of course, imagine Megyn Kelly showing up on Colbert. Imagine Brett Baer. Imagine PBD. They won't have these people on. PBD, I believe you mentioned 98% of guests are liberals. Humberto, you got that picture yet? No, can't pull it up. But the point is, they look exactly alike. And it's, is anybody shocked to see Rachel Maddow basically making cocktails with Colbert? I totally understand Trump's frustration, but at the same time, free speech, free speech, free speech.
They're not going to win long term. And here's what I mean. They're not going to win long term. You know, think about it. Remember when the whole October 7th thing happened? And right off the bat, it was such a sensitive topic. And it was nasty. It divided the Republican Party. It was just a confusing thing. Democrats were becoming Republicans. Bill Ackman, you know, he was giving all this money to Harvard. He's leaving because the way Harvard president, Columbia, wait a minute, you don't take care of Jews. And the next thing you know, the other argument was you can't make any comments about, Jews or else, and it's anti-Semitic. And wait a minute, if we want to criticize, we should be able to do that as well. And then that led to, I'm just no war. I just don't want any war. No, I'm an America first. I'm an American only. And everybody was filtering out these ideas. Everybody was filtering out the ideas, and we're just listening and kind of giving our own opinions. And then you realize, after about some time, there's some logic and good points on both sides of the aisle. You know, if we, for ourselves in America, this Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert model is going to go away. These guys are getting destroyed by podcasters and YouTubers. That model's gone. Why do you think the Oscars, not the Oscars, the Oscars announced they're going to do it on YouTube? Do you know why they're going on YouTube? No one's freaking watching it. Mm-hmm. No one's watching it anymore. No one gives a shit. For you to get up and give me climate change bullshit type of stuff. No one cares, no one cares on all the fear porn you want to push down everybody's throat. And then, by the way, this year, they finally had a podcaster award that they're giving away. I think Grammys had it, or one of the ones had it, not Grammys. One of the ones had the podcaster award. Guess who was not on that list? Joe Rogan wasn't on that list, not as a nominee. You're going to give away a podcast award and not have Joe in the conversation? You've lost your. So this is so much credibility that they're losing, and eventually the right ideas will win. Just for a period of time, they're going to be criticized, and some people will be confused. Well, maybe this, well, maybe that. Take your time. The right argument will eventually be filtered out. Doesn't mean the other side's not going to be around. Doesn't mean bots are not being paid behind closed doors. Doesn't mean other countries like Qatar, Israel, AIPAC, they're not going to spend their money to get you to think the way they think. Doesn't mean China is not spending $70, $100, $200 million in universities to get kids that are going to school to be teaching a certain course that these universities are teaching, to teach a history that shows China as a better country, not as all these people that they killed. It doesn't mean all of these countries, including ourselves, are not going to impose our philosophy on everybody else. You don't think we're pitching capitalism to everybody? You don't think everybody's doing it? But guess what? The right argument is based on who's producing the best results. Guess what countries produce the best results around the world? America has. Period. You can say whatever you want about UK. How long has UK been around? How long was UK the financial world? What happened to UK? What happened to you right now? I was watching a video about how UK was in the 50s, 60s, and what the families look like to what it looks like today. They lost their entire identity. What happened to a lot of these countries? How did America, that's 249 years old, about to be 260, 250 in a week, July 4th, they're going to be 250 years old. How did that country whoop on Iran, the Persian Empire? How did that country whoop on China? How did that country whoop on Russia? How did that country whoop on UK? How? Better ideas eventually win. It takes a minute, but they eventually win.
I think another part of that is that we are very well situated. We have very big cushions on either side of us, two massive oceans. I think that obviously I do believe that we are probably one of the best countries in the world. Obviously, everybody wants to come here. People vote with their feet. That is a very big Milton Friedman statement. If you guys want to check out Milton Friedman, one of the best, he's out. He's there. Free to Choose Network. But I think that in the event that we have enough progressive power in this country that if we were situated as any one of the countries in Europe, and we could have been flooded to the degree that they were flooded with illegal immigrants. Not to say that we weren't, we were, but it's a lot harder for those people to get over here than just to walk. You know, the majority of the immigrants that were coming from countries outside of South America, they were coming in through South America and through Canada. But, you know, obviously they have to take a plane, they have to take a boat, you got to really work hard to get here. You got to work hard. And I think ultimately that might be the thing that saves us, honestly, because we do have essentially a moat around us. And as long as the borders are protected on our north and to the south, I think we can weather the storm at least a lot better than a lot of European countries and other countries that kind of just been completely flooded and they don't have their identity anymore. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I have a lot of new subscribers. I really appreciate everyone that is subscribing. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the share, notification bell, all those great things. If you want to follow me on X, 6283 Talk is on the X. I'm John Soto. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you again in the next video, guys. Take care.